Hello, we have a different show for you today. I, Jessica, your acerbic and occasionally friendly retro lunatic, have something new for the game room. Behold, this is the Magnavox Odyssey 2. Now, this is chapter 1 of what will be a few episodes here. This was a generous donation from a absolutely dear friend of mine, who I adore. Does not come with a power supply, so I will have to procure either a loose OEM supply or a suitable and safe third-party aftermarket alternative. However, I thought it would be fun, possibly even wholesome, to document the adoption process. First step is cleaning this poor guy. This has definitely been neglected. I wouldn't say abused by any means, but definitely needs some love. Now, I'm going to use a soft rag at first, with just the teensiest amount of 91% isopropyl alcohol. And I mean the tiniest amount. Because alcohol like that can ruin the finish and texture of certain surfaces. So I'm just going to very lightly just get it on some of the spots where it's dirtiest, and then on the other side of this towel, I'm going to use some water. Just a little bit. And we don't want to hurt this guy. Just want to get this dust off, and then just these little spots where these like little splotches of dirt have caked. So it doesn't look like we'll need to do anything heavy duty to clean the keyboard, thankfully. And I'm gonna dare just a smidge more of the alcohol for these little deposits here. I don't want to be too rough, and I'm probably not gonna get these. Sorry, I didn't realize that was not on camera. These little spots here. If I can get it in frame. Probably can't see it too much. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I guess that's a good thing that it doesn't show up very obviously on camera, so it must be small. But like these little splotches of dirt, like maybe it just was splashed on a little bit, you know? So it's definitely not going to be perfect by any means. I mean, this is just a basic soft washcloth. It's not gonna really get super deep in here, but we just wanted to just give it a preliminary once-over and Just kind of get some of the most obvious surface level gunk off of them. Bring out just a little bit of that original silver finish. Now some of these scuffs and scratches, again, you probably can't see them, maybe just a tad bit on camera here. I mean, if I wanted to be obsessive, I imagine it could be very gently buffed out, because this is actually a smooth surface texture. So lightly buffing it wouldn't, like, ruin any special, like, finish. Or, like, bumpy texture or anything. Yeah, I'm not sure if it would even work. Yeah, probably not to paint it. It's not something I ever really consider doing to any of these retro systems. But this is a good sign. You always like to see when the feet are intact on one of these things. Now, these weren't detachable, but still. You know, there's not much you can do. You're always... Something this old, you're gonna have, you know, scuffs and scratches on the bottom. Now, this looks like there might have been... there's like a little... pattern? Like a rectangular pattern. I wonder, this might have been like a sticker that was on there like really way too good. And someone ripped it off and kind of messed up the finish here, but considering this is from a bygone era, like this is one of two pieces of hardware in this room that's older than I am. Not too bad. So the video cable is hardwired to the system. The controllers use a plug not that dissimilar from the Atari 2600, 7800, or even the Sega Mega Drive and Master System. Unfortunately, the ports are on the back. That's a little bit sucky. And this is where the power supply would go. The Odyssey 2 is a weird one. Magnavox, for some reason, made two different variants with different size ports for the power supply. So, depending on which one, I haven't measured this yet, depending on which one, I might need an adapter for the plug itself. An adapter for an adapter. The controllers, similar to the Atari 2600, you know, it's just a joystick and an action button. The buttons actually still feel really good, and this is like a, it's almost got a trackball feel to it. I don't think this is analog control as we understand it, but there's not any micro switches that I can feel, so I think it's just, I don't know, it actually feels pretty good to move. So it just needs a little cleaning. You know, this little ball in here is pretty dirty, but I'm not gonna be able to clean the whole thing, but it's probably not a ball, it's probably like half of a sphere, but I guess once we get a chance to test out the system with a power supply, we'll see how well the controller works. It should be fine. It doesn't feel like it's been, like, super abused or anything, so. Same thing with this one here. Mostly just needs some TLC. It has a couple minor scratches on the front, but it's not too bad. And then I guess another thing I could use on a budget would be like, what do they call it? Magic Eraser or the Mr. Clean, whatever, but you don't want to use that on anything with a textured finish, or like a Magic Eraser would probably like ruin the logo here. You gotta be careful with stuff like that, so I'm gonna try to just keep on cleaning this guy with soft materials, and then, you know, might find something that's still relatively benign to just kind of buff this out a little more. You know, I'm not gonna be super OCD or obsessive over it, you know, it's just, you know, it's an old piece of hardware, it's not gonna be showroom perfect or anything, but at least be clean and presentable, and you know, I can interact with it and not feel like I need to wash my hands afterward. You know, plus you don't want to have anything living on your hardware that's going to encourage like any kind of, you know, bacterial gatherings. I think just for a little basic TLC, I think that's as good as it's going to get. Plus, I would like to get the Magnavox voice synthesis module, and that'll go over that part anyway, so you won't even see like these little scratches. So the final thing that I'm going to do today, and then we'll call it a show, is, since unfortunately there's no flaps for the cartridge slot, I'm going to give that a decent clean here. Just the same way I would clean a cartridge. Just a Q-tip with a gentle amount of the isopropyl alcohol. Now, that's pretty far in there. The light's not gonna... In order to get the light to shine in the cartridge slot, it's gonna be like... I don't know, I would need like a separate flashlight or studio light or something. But just gonna very gently go over the contacts. Gonna try... I might very gently, with the dry part of the Q-tip, just go over just a little bit of the motherboard that's exposed around the cartridge input. Just to... like, it looks good. It doesn't look like there's any corrosion or anything, but just to get rid of some dust and just knock loose any dirt that happens to have fallen in, and yeah, not too bad. So I'll still give it another go with another Q-tip before I put a game in, just to be doubly sure. But yeah, I think considering the age and considering that like, my friend who donated it actually didn't get to use it because he didn't have a power supply, but it just kind of passed on to him. So he just gently stored it in a safe place. So it's really whoever owned it before them that I would be like, well, they probably had it somewhere climate controlled, but still, you know, exposed to some dust, and you know, was probably handled with not so clean hands a few times, and I don't know, maybe it was kind of a dingy basement, who can say, but I think that'll do it. I hope you enjoyed this little episode, and in Chapter 2, we'll have found ourselves a power supply, and then a cartridge with which to test this Bella out, and then we'll go from there. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.